Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Monroe Man with Break Diving for another awesome, inspirational, motivational break diving powwow. So,
Woo!
woohoo! That's right. And today we're going to be, as always, talking about the Break Divers Creed. No rules, no excuses, no regrets. But specifically, the topic that we were talking about earlier in the Break Diving chat room is perfectionism. So today we have with us Kelly Chen in Texas, Ileana Arguiris in Egypt, Gay Mare in the Philippines, and Riya Chowdhury. She didn't put her last name on there, but we're disclosing that to everybody. In India. We were just actually talking about how Riya was gone for about 2.5 weeks in the community. We were very sad. And Riya, you were saying something, and I interrupted you because I wanted to start recording. What were you saying? What were
Yes,
those lovely words?
I was saying that I was missing all you guys and these meetings because these are very, inspirational meetings for me. I got inspired and do my work with more concentration. So I was missing all you guys also, our chill chat. I think I miss a meeting of 9 August also. I'm sorry for that I cannot cancel that because I was not having anything
Well,
there.
our topic today, as I mentioned, is perfectionism.
Perfectionism, yes.
So it's okay that you missed one. We won't hold it against you.
Thank
And
you.
miss
another one.
yes, but
Thank you.
don't miss another one. So for any of you watching on YouTube and you're wondering, what the heck are these guys talking about? What is this? We're an online, not-for-profit social media community. We are truly the friendliest, most supportive social media community on the internet in the world. And as you can see, we've got people from all around the world. We're growing every day, and we'd love you to join us. It's free to join. You can also pay for a premium membership if you want to help support us and also get access to some more special features. So anyway, Riya, it's great to have you back. Apparently, Riya was gone for 2 weeks because she did a 2-week cleanse. And you'll never guess what type of cleanse it was. It was a technology cleanse. She was no internet, no phone, no cell phone. And she did this with her friend for 2 weeks. So tell us about it, Riya. How was it?
It was great. I was having actually keypad phone because I have to inform my parents how I am. Yes, so it was
Like this?
I try yes, like this. So yes, we were cooking and we were reading books and books to entertain ourselves and then discussing what is going on there. And yes, we also memorize our childhood things, and we do also some childhood things. We dance, and yeah, it was all 15 days was great, but all without I'm at back home, and with technology my days are going like, oh my god, it's just over and I don't know what I have done. But when I was not having any type of that thing, I was thinking how to pass my time. I was having plenty of time that. Yes.
So the solution is a balance between the two then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually that's an interesting segue into the topic today, which is perfectionism. And a thing that I don't know if I came up with this or if I read it somewhere and don't remember where I found it, but that quotation that I shared earlier in the chat room is just something I've always lived by. I can't even remember when I came up with it. Good now is better than perfect never.
Yes.
And I think that helps encapsulate this idea of perfectionism that we all have, that we all want to be perfect. We all want to be beautiful. We all want to be successful. We all want to make more money and have the perfect job and the perfect family. And it doesn't exist. And I think we're all missing out. And I say we, me too. You guys know that I go through my struggles emotionally. And I think it's completely because I remember about a week ago, we were talking about how depression and sadness often comes from comparing our current life with the past or with some idea of what the future should have been or should be, and we don't feel we're on the right track. We're talking today about perfection. I almost feel like they're two sides of the same coin, because it's this drive for perfection that is also making us depressed. And that drive for perfection is influenced by our past, because we have some idea of what perfect is supposed to be. And we have some idea in our head in the future of what our perfect life is supposed to be. Let's jump off on there on that. Who has something that they some insight on the comparison between perfectionism and our
I
thoughts about the past kind of making us crazy?
I have a doubt.
Yes, you can share
A
that thought.
person living a person a person living a perfect life have problems or not?
Well, if a person is living a perfect life, then that person by definition has no problems. Right?
Or
Yes or no?
or they are happy with their problems and see their problem is perfect for them.
Or they hide their struggles and only show you the good side.
Yeah.
All right, Gay, you have to say something too, because everyone else gave something. So what do you think?
Yeah. Perfection. Maybe that person is, yes, he have a perfect life, but I don't think there's a person in this world who has a perfect life. Everyone has a problem. Yeah, even the rich one, they have a problem with their money life or happy life, like that.
My thought on that, after hearing what the four of you just said, to add to it, is I think you're right. There are people who have quote unquote a perfect life, but it's transient, it's temporal, it doesn't last.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think each one of us at some point in our lives could feel my life is perfect.
Perfect.
In fact, right at this moment, right now, I feel my life is perfect. Why? Because I'm not thinking about all the other stuff that's going on in my life. I'm talking to these four gorgeous women. I mean, does life get any better than that? Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's what it is. I think life is good. There are times when I feel life is perfect and I'm so happy, but it's not all the time by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's the key, Riya. I think you are right. Perfect people don't have problems, or when people who have a perfect life don't have problems, or as Kelly said, are they pretending, or are they just forgetting? Right now, I'm just forgetting. Or here's an interesting thought. Am I forgetting about my problems, or is this conversation with the four of you helping me to realize that my problems are not really problems and I shouldn't be worried about them so much? If it was really a problem, I don't think just talking to the four of you would make me feel good. Right?
Yes.
I mean, if it were a really serious problem, I don't think I'm going to forget about it by talking to the four of you, but I am. I can't, honestly, right now, I'm trying to think of problems in my life. And even if I come up with something in my head logically, it doesn't affect me emotionally. Because
Not a big
I'm
deal.
in a good phase of a frame of mind. What do you think, Gay? What's perfectionism like in the Philippines? Give us the straight from the on location report.
Perfection in the Philippines. Yeah, in the Philippines, they can say their life is perfect because they have their money. Wealth. Yes. In Philippines, they can say that their life is perfect when they have their wealth. So
Wealth or health?
Yeah, well.
Wealth.
So wait. In the Philippines, the phrase is wealth. If you have wealth, everything's good. But if you have health, it's not important.
No, that is my observation here more.
Oh, okay. It's your observation. Okay.
Yeah, if I am rich, then I can say, yes, my life is perfect. But if I am poor, oh, my life is a mess. Just like that. Straight to the point.
You know what's funny? It said, Ileana and I were talking about this the other day. That's unfortunately how I think society is structured.
Yes.
That we somehow put value on money and your financial well-being and whatnot, right at this moment, it's all of us. I'm not, none of you can lie. None of you are at the perfect financial place that you would love to be. And any of you who say you are, I think you're not thinking big enough. But the truth is any one of us starving right at this moment? Is any one of us struggling to put food on the table or have a pair of socks? We're not. And yet you're right. We all are still comparing ourselves that we feel terrible because we don't have this perfect car or the perfect house or the perfect whatever. Ileana, what are your thoughts? Or Kelly, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say that's the thing. Nobody's gonna be perfect. Even though you're the billionaire, you're still gonna think, what can I do more to make more money in the future? Like, you're never gonna stop thinking and dream bigger than what you have now.
Except, you're right, except if you do the planning ahead of time. I've been reading this book by Tony Robbins, I forget the name of it, Wealth or something about money. I forget it. Money, Master the Game. And it's an exercise I've done before, but I didn't do it as precisely as I did as a result of his exercise. And it showed you, I've always known that if I could make $75,000 a year consistently, that's all my dreams have come true. I don't need any more than 75,000 US dollars a year, and I'm rich. And the Tony Robbins thing broke it down into 4 different sections, whereas 4 is what's the bare minimum to pay your bills and like feel like you're not stressed out every month. What's a little bit more to make you feel a little bit more of a luxurious lifestyle. The 3rd phase is where you're basically that $75,000 one is his 3rd phase. And then the 4th one is like really you're kind of going crazy, but it's not based on just money. It's you figure out, what do I really want to do with my life? And I think my 4th phase came up to something about $240,000 per year. And when you think about it, that doesn't make me a millionaire. Of course I would be if I learned to invest 100 grand of that every year, and shortly I would be a millionaire. But it's telling to show that you don't need that much money to be happy. And I think there's a study, I've read about this many times in my PhD studies and also in popular media now, because they keep repeating it. They did a study in the US and they showed that for every $5,000 more of income that you earn, there is a measurable increase in your happiness until you reach $70,000 per year. Once somebody reached $70,000 of income per year here in the US, even if you went up to 250,000, it didn't improve your happiness, your perceived happiness in life anymore. And that was when it really started to hit me. I don't need to be a millionaire to be happy. I don't even need to be a millionaire to have all my dreams come true. And so the exercise, it's a great book, and you can also just do it right now, is put down a list of what are the actual things that I want and how much will it actually cost. And one of the things that talk about is that you don't need to have your own private jet. You can, how many times do you fly per year? 3 times a year? Then rent a private jet 3 times a year.
Well, it's cheaper to rent too, because then you don't have to pay the staff, you don't have to pay for maintenance and gas and everything that comes with owning a jet.
Yeah. It's the truth. My family, my mother is putting this vacation home up on the market up in Maine now, and it's been in the family for so many years. And one of the main reasons is it's a big old pain in the butt. We go up there maybe 2 times per summer, and the upkeep is expensive, dealing with the taxes, trying to everything is just, what's the point? Why don't we just sell it? And if we want to go to Maine, we rent a house for a week. And it just makes so much more sense. My whole thing in the last 3 years has been, I got to downsize my life. I don't know. I think I was talking to Bhavya about this, that I think it's a lot easier to live a life that is not burdened with 1.5 million things that you have to juggle constantly that cause stress.
Mm-hmm.
And I this is one of the reasons why I kind of feel like I don't know if I ever want to own a home. Because if I own a house, then that's a burden. That's something that I have, and it's hard to get out of it. I mean, people think it's hard to get out of a lease, but a lease was going to expire at the end of the year for your apartment. But if you own a house, it's a lot of work and a lot of money to sell the thing. And I don't know. That's an interesting thought. Ileana, what are some of your thoughts on perfection?
Well, I was going to talk about like the money thing again.
Go
That
ahead. It's
you
fine. I
can
think
just
money is a huge perfectionist issue that people have in their
like
lives.
Yeah.
for people who don't have that much money, giving them some, like just a little bit will make them happier. But for people who have, or not well off, but can provide for themselves and are stable, giving them just a little bit doesn't really make them as happy as a person who is less fortunate.
Well, I think that's the argument that they were making about the pandemic bonus of $1,200 per person in the U.S. because it was going to everybody, and it was being phased out at something like $150,000 annual income. And I don't make anything close to $150,000, and I just think, wow, the $1,200 for me meant a lot. Whereas to someone making $150,000, assuming these people are financially smart and they're not $150,000 in debt, which probably they are. So maybe they were grateful to get the $1,500. But it is a fascinating point about that one. It's actually the point that you make. We have this new show on break diving called Angelfish that we're actually launching tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. So hope you'll check it out. It's going to be a live premiere type of thing, and we'll all be able to supposedly chat on YouTube together while we're watching the show. And we're giving away every month $50 to people someone who has hardship or somebody who has a big dream that needs help making it happen. And $50 we were talking as a team here at break diving. We're thinking, oh, $50, is that a lot of money? I mean, it doesn't even pay for my cell phone bill here in the US. But we fail to realize that many of our members live overseas, and $50 in other countries could pay for food for a whole month. Or could really help with car repairs, or could really help with this, that, another thing. And so everything is relative. And Gay, what's another thought that you have on perfectionism? Do you feel there's anything in your life? Let's switch gears actually to what we were talking about before. Let's find something in each of our lives, one or two things where we are too perfectionist and we're too hard on ourselves because we're not doing it as perfectly as as we think we should. Or we're not doing it as well as somebody else, and so we're beating up on ourselves. And Riya, you cannot say you have nothing that you're. I know you can come up with something. We need to inspire those on YouTube watching. So Ileana, why don't you start?
Okay, the first thing is like I want to learn how to design better. Like design websites, design graphics, but I always push it away, say, oh, I'm not a designer, I can't do it. Like it doesn't come easy to me. Like I tried to design my personal portfolio like from scratch without using a template, without using ideas from other people. And it took me maybe a week or so to get it laid out the way that I wanted it to. And I think my biggest problem is that I'm so hard on myself that I don't even give myself a chance to actually learn, to take the time to do things. I just get really frustrated when I just start and say, oh, this is not coming easy, so I should just give up and I'm not a designer and blah, blah, blah. But the important thing here is that I need to give myself the time to learn, the chance to learn, like the opportunity to fail. And yeah.
That's good. I love that. I give the opportunity to fail. I'm just thinking as if if you're someone applying for a job and I'm the boss or something, and I say to you, all right, well, Ileana, I like what I see here. I'm going to give you the opportunity to fail. Welcome aboard. But that's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? I think it's easier to give yourself the opportunity to fail if you give yourself a longer time period. If you're expecting to do something, like if this design work is something that's new to you, I think you're good at it, and I think you're better at it than you think you are, because I've seen the stuff that you do here at breakdiving. Maybe what's scaring you is the fact that your clients or whoever are expecting you to do it as quickly as you do the other work.
Yeah.
And maybe if it's just a matter of saying, yes, I can do it, but it's going to take me a little bit longer, because I don't know how you want to phrase it, but I think you're good enough to do it, and you already do it. And I would just talk to the clients about it, because I know that they keep asking you about it, and just tell them exactly what you're telling us. Hey, it's new. I'm good at it. I can do this, but you're going to have to be a little bit more patient in terms of me getting it done, because it's not something that I do as quickly as with as much facility, as great as facility. What's the word? Is that right? Facility? I don't do it as easily as I do the other work that I do for you, coding. And
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So we are giving you the opportunity to fail. That was my Gregorian monk chat. Do you guys ever listen to Gregorian monks sing?
No. Have you listened
No.
to Tibetan monks sing?
The Gregorian monks all sound like this.
Oh my god. I
You know what
saw
I
a
mean?
video. No, but you remind me of a
No.
video I just saw of like a church people that were singing a song, but the song only included meow, like as the only lyrics of the song.
You need to watch Tibetan throat singing.
Maybe we should have a Tibetan throat singing breakdiving event.
Oh,
I'm not an expert at it, but I've watched it before. I had to watch it for my world history class.
Tibetan throat singing. Oh, actually, I think I saw a woman and a man on America's Got Talent who did Tibetan throat singing, but she's from, but she's from like like Siberia. Her name is, I think it's Oleg. Oleg is the name of it. And they did a cover of the Cranberries Zombie song, but with this throat singing. It was quite good. So, all right, I'll go next. Let's see, the perfectionism. My biggest thing with perfectionism, and Kelly, we were talking about this also in the chat, is we all think that we don't have enough time to do anything significant with a project, and so we don't even start. And I have to constantly remind myself, just get started, just do it. 5 minutes, get started with the task, and before you know it, I'm writing for 2.5 hours.
Eat the frog. Eat the frog.
And I always think about it like before I go to bed, or I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I need to get this done. And then when you actually sit down and you just feel like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time, and you just stop and then you do some other work. And at the end of the day, you repeat this again.
yes.
Yeah, we all have to do it now. Winners do it now. So I'm going to remind myself, as soon as I get off the call with you, before I do anything, before I eat, before I eat, before I get out of this chair, before I do anything, I'm going to write for 10 minutes in the novel. I just look like Billy Idol right there. Didn't I? Sort of. Anyway. Gay Mare, what's something that you find yourself being too perfectionist about and so that you never
Well,
get started or you beat yourself up about it?
well, actually, I started. For me, it's hard for me to change my Filipino accent in English. That's what I can't. That's what
Gay,
I'm
gay,
practicing.
gay. You don't want
Yeah.
to, and you don't have to. You have a. I always tell people when I was teaching to English in China a few times, I'd always tell my students, because they always wanted to talk like me, and I said, stop trying to talk like me. There's nothing to be proud about losing your accent. There's a difference between accent and pronunciation. And if your pronunciation is perfect, how beautiful it is to have an accent. Because guess what? Do I have an accent when I speak English? Yeah. I can't hear it because I'm used to my American accent. And when I hear Brits speak English, I think they sound weird. But to them, I sound weird. And it's hard for me to imagine that, how can I have an accent? And they go, I love your American accent. What do you mean my American accent? I don't have an accent. But we do. And I'll tell you, we can all understand you very well. And
Yes,
I
because
would say, don't focus on your accent, just focus on vocabulary and pronunciation and grammar. That's the only thing that matters, because we can
Another
hear you.
perfectionism issue.
Yes.
they want, yeah, because in my training they want us to speak American. So, oh, I say, oh, this is a big challenge for me since I'm not that sociable person, and well, actually, and also we memorized the states in US, and I just memorized 40. Yes, and that's a big challenge for the
Gay, can
capitals
I
and
tell you
time
this?
zone.
You probably know more American states than most Americans at this point, if you know 40 of them. So you should be very proud of yourself. By the way, just take a detour to what you said. If it's for your job, and your job wants you to have an American accent so that people don't think that they're talking to someone in the Philippines because you're working in a call center, I understand. I mean,
Yes.
the same thing. If someone's going to cast me as a role as a Brit in a film, well, I should probably speak with a good British accent. So it's different when it's talking about your job, but never for a moment think that you don't speak English well, because you don't speak like me or Ileana or Kelly to an extent, though she's kind of Chinese, kind of American. It's hard to know which accent she really has.
She has a
Are they
Texas
giving?
accent.
What's that, Ileana?
Texas
She has a
accent.
Texas
Yeah,
accent.
that's right. You're a Texan. Do they give you a training course that teaches you how to speak with a general American accent?
Tongue twister.
Say it again.
They only
Tongue
give you tongue twisters.
Oh, tongue twisters.
I've never heard of
Tongue
tongue twisters helping somebody improve their American accent. But I would say
like
the number one thing to learn how to speak English with an American accent is look how big my mouth moves. My mouth opens a lot. Look at Ileana when she speaks, her mouth opens a lot. If you speak British, hello, I'm from England. And if you're in French, I'm from France.
Is that why they all have wrinkles?
It could be. That's right. That might be why. But if Americans speak with their mouth open, it's big.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's
most
probably
of
why
the
they're very
people
loud
who
too.
learn English outside of the United States, they tend to learn the British method, unless it's an American teacher like me and I'm in China, they're teaching them. So generally, a lot of the tutorials are mouth closed, because in British English, it's very proper and Queen English type of thing. So if there's anything, just start for the rest of this call, you're talking, open your mouth, talk like this. Kelly, Ileana, do you have any American English accent type suggestions for Gay?
No, because I'm losing my American accent.
Yeah, she's starting to sound Egyptian.
Yeah, now I'm gaining an Egyptian Arabic accent. One of my friends, when I was talking to her, she said, Oh, you sound like when my mom pretends to speak with a Middle Eastern accent. Great.
That's funny. You know what? Interesting, Gay. I don't think it matters if you learn to speak with an American accent for the purpose of the call center. The idea is just to have an accent that nobody can place.
Yeah.
Years ago, when I spoke French, it was everybody knew I was from the United States.
America.
And my job was not to learn to speak French like a French person. I guess actually my mission was years ago. I wanted to speak French like a native French person. And it never happened. But I've noticed now that most people, if I'm traveling and I speak French and they don't know that I'm from the United States and they didn't hear me speak English, they think I'm from French Canada, or they think I'm from Switzerland, or they think I'm from some other, but usually not an English speaking country. And to me, I consider, okay, good. That means that it must not be a terrible American accent anymore. And I think would be fine. Just if it would be, and it becomes very alluring too when people don't know, where is this woman from? And so don't strive to speak like it's going to take you years to learn to speak if you want to like an American. I mean,
Yes.
it's really, you need to go to acting school and
Yes.
learn how the different sounds are and study diphthongs and blah, 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 blah. I think just focus on trying to remove some of the harshness of the Filipino pronunciation. And I think that, and the same thing with Riya, we clearly know that she's from India or from that part of the world, not because of her accent, but some of the words that she pronounces are clearly the way that they're pronounced by Indians who learn English in India, and the grammar that she uses. And of course, if you see her going like
Yeah,
this,
in the head.
that's a dead giveaway. Riya, what's something that in your life that you find that you're too perfectionist about?
Just meeting people and creating relationships. I found like I want to be a perfectionist, but then I actually do not create a proper relationship. But when I try myself not to be perfect and just let go with the flow, then I have a good relationship with those persons. So from that day I just stopped thinking about that perfectionist idea. And also I read a story of a businessman and his worker. So the businessman having a lot of money, lot of businesses here and there, but he was not happy when one day he see his worker, he was enjoying his a small work of giving and providing tea and coffee, serving tea or coffee to others, and he was singing songs, and yeah, he was enjoying his job. And the boss was really shocked to see his amusement, because he cannot imagine a worker in his office can enjoy like this, and I am his boss, I am having a lot of headaches and tensions. Then his accountant advised him that you should advise him or put $99 in front of that guy, and the worker take that $99 and count them, it's 99, and then his tension increases, I have to earn $1, and then he just struggle for $1, and then when he have $100 he just become greedy and taking tensions for more, I need to earn more, I need to earn more. And then the businessman see his condition and matches like my condition and his condition is now same. And now I got the point that what was he was having tensions of earning more and more, and then he tried to reduce that and started enjoying his life, what he have, he got satisfied by that. And also he just said that he just explained the worker that $99 was my prank to you, and it was just because, and then both started living happily then. So yes, this funda was very.
So I like that story a lot. And now, can you apply it to your own life?
Yes, I'm applying. I'm trying to apply. Yes.
How?
Actually, I do not, I do not care for money. Whenever I am teaching to students, and if they say, okay, we have this and we can pay this, I say, okay, I don't think so. My motive is to like to
Help
teach
them.
you something, yes, and to increase my knowledge. It is increasing my knowledge even, and I do not miss that thing whenever a beggar come, and I never miss. Hi, Kalimia. Karimia. Hi.
It's nice.
I
Cute.
never, yeah, I never miss that thing, whenever a beggar comes and I show him ki I do not have money. Whatever I have, I try to give, because it does not, you know, going to be, or it is not, sorry.
That's actually a very good lesson for all of us. The fact that you no matter how much or how little money you have in your
Yeah.
pocketbook or your wallet,
Yes,
you'll give that to somebody.
yes.
Because it's funny, and I remember there, like I think it was in movies type of thing, like when somebody would throw a dime into a cup and the beggar would get mad. Hey, that's all you can give me. Is it? But the truth is, I mean, most people I think are really, like you said, they're grateful
Yes,
for whatever.
one lady blesses me that much. I was so satisfied by listening what she gives me. Her blessing was like, beta, you earn more, you become a successful girl. Matlab, by all her hearted, only for 10 rupees, she gave me that thing. I cannot even imagine that 10 rupees can provide that to me. So that matters most in the blessings matters most.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Kelly, how about you? What's something in your life you're going to try to stop being so perfectionist about?
Mine is note taking. I always spend a lot of time on making my notes to look pretty, to look organized. And I realize myself sometimes, especially for history courses, that I'm just reading and copying instead of understanding the material and actually learn it and remember it. And I think that's a big problem for me, because you need to know it, not just copying on your notes, because you're never gonna have your notes by your side when you take the test.
A corollary to that is, I think a lot of times people with to-do lists, I do this too sometimes, and I'm fortunately I'm good at catching it most of the time.
It
Many
helps
of us
me.
create so much time making to-do lists, but then we don't do anything on the to-do lists. And
Yes.
what's the point of having the perfect to-do list that looks perfect, that looks great? And I mean, I'm trying to think, do I have some right here? And yeah, I mean, I've got one right here. And like, do I really need to retype this up again before I can start doing it? And a lot of times a thing that I'll do is when I'm making a to-do list, if there's something very quickly on that to-do list that I'm typing that I should say, just do it. As Gay was talking about, when someone says, your teacher says, send me the paper or whatever it is, just boom, do it. And I think I think a lot of times we use these different things as procrastination tools in some way. It's more fun to just copy the stuff from the notebook, from your textbook, and make nice drawings and underlines and this and that, rather than actually sitting down and hard and going, okay, let me remember this date. Other thoughts on this, on what we're talking about today?
I think a lot of, you can go first.
I was suggesting that it's better to learn first and then make notes. It's going to be, a good practice of yours, rather copying and pasting it. You can learn first and then you can make notes. It's, it is going to be help you more.
Here's another thing that I realized too. I was reviewing my computer science informations from last year, and a lot of stuff I remember now, but there are some really key important concepts. And I was thinking, like, do I need to write them down again since I know them already? But like, do I have to write it down again because I know that they're like key concepts? Like,
Did you decide you had to write them down again?
Some of them I didn't. Some of them I did because I thought like they would probably be tested again. But I still don't really know though.
I would just write it down again just in case because you can say, oh yeah, I know it, but then when it comes to the test, you forget it or
Yes,
say, oh, it's not
exactly.
going to
That's
be on the
true.
test, but then it is
Yeah.
on the test.
What I often
Yeah.
do when I'm studying for a test is I'll create my own test, and I'll put, if I know, like put the date 1492, 1643, and 1984, whatever it may be, and then okay, I have to put what happened during those dates, or I put the actual. Just make your own quiz. There's got to be some website online that allows you to create your own quizzes. Maybe Quizlet,
It's
right?
lit. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's better than taking notes because you take the notes once by creating the quiz and then you actually do the quiz and you'll know, do I actually remember these concepts?
Or you
It's
can be old-fashioned and make flashcards.
We actually, for some classes, we have to make flashcards.
Gosh, I remember when I was in high school and there was really there was nothing. We had the computer system that I used. It was a word processor. That was the only thing that we had. There was no internet really. It was just word processor. So it was just flashcards on index cards. It's amazing how lots changed since I was in high school. Crazy.
Yeah, lots
I'm
of
pretty sure they're
things has
still using
changed.
the same textbooks.
I'm sorry.
That's
Wait.
true.
What did you say? I didn't hear it.
They're still using the same textbooks.
Yeah, my economic textbook is made in 2008.
When you guys are you guys in school? Did you create get a hardcover textbook and then you used a paper shopping bag and you covered it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys
I
do that?
didn't do that. I
Yes,
didn't do
I
that.
did.
We were required to do that. We had to cover the books using. We had to cut up a paper bag
Oh,
and one of the
my
first
sister
assignments
did in
the
elementary
first
school.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From
that or we
newspaper
got
also, our parents used to cover.
Yeah, newspaper you could use. You could use paper bags.
Yes.
And then they started making actual book cover paper that you could buy at Woolworth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's ready. It's ready. Jilt made. It's you
It's
just have to.
ready made.
Ready made. It's ready made. You just do not have to do so much. Stapler and so. But just.
But yeah, I had a book cover that's like stretchy and it has all different colors, and you just put it on the book and
Yeah.
that's it.
And
Yeah.
just peel off the wrapper and it is going to be there. Zip
Hey, this,
properly.
one of the best times of my life was every year during elementary school, middle school, and high school, when at the end of the year we turned in our textbooks.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did that.
I haven't thought about that in years, but I just remember what a great feeling was when you get to college. You have to buy the textbooks usually.
Yeah.
I think now you can rent them from Amazon and this or that, but I just remember that I remember like the last day of school or whatever it was, and I'd go to school with the big backpack on, all the textbooks, and then when I'd come home, the backpack would be just empty, and I'd be skipping. So happy.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
in middle school, there's this like giant trash can in the middle, and everyone throws their paper and textbook in there, and all the lockers are open, empty.
Kelly, relish those days because once you become an adult, they're gone forever.
We didn't get our own textbooks in
What
middle school.
didn't you? What do you mean you didn't get your own? You had to share them?
Yeah, in the classrooms, everyone would just use the classroom textbooks, and
Mm.
So how did you do your homework?
we had worksheets that we just like remembered or looked up stuff on the internet. But
Oh, the internet. That's right. You have the internet. I didn't have that luxury.
When we do it now is for math classes. Sometimes we have own textbook because you have to write solutions. So you have your own textbook, and it's for free usually for algebras and geometry. But for other classes like history and economics, it's usually a hard copy textbook that you checked out from the school, and you have to return it at the end.
Mm. Gay, in the Philippines, do you have the same type of system where the school will give you their textbooks for the year and then you give them back at the end of the year?
Yes, we have the same type, Monroe.
Yeah.
we we will use the book, and then at the end of the year, return the book with fully covered, fixed, no page that was torn, like that.
You know
We
what
have the
really
same.
upset me about every year in middle school and high school, and probably elementary school too? There was not one teacher that got through a history book. So I'd say in elementary school, middle school, and high school, about 3 times I got up to the Vietnam War, but not once did I learn anything about the Vietnam War or the Korean War or anything in the last 60 years. And I feel like that is such a travesty. I feel these teachers need to learn time management.
You didn't take AP US history.
What's that?
Yeah.
You didn't take AP US history.
I took some AP classes, but then I
No,
remember
but
I took all of the AP tests, and I don't think I did very well on them.
in
I think
AP
I got college credit for one AP exam, I think. And let's not talk about it. It brings back terrible memories of perfectionism.
well, in AP US history, we started before America was even America, and then we went all the way up to like the Bush era.
Same with world history. We started from like people in the very, very before the
Sumeria
sea.
Wait a
and-
second. I remember I did AP US history. I remember junior year, I think, of high school. And the teacher, again, stopped before, and I was furious. I remember this now. It's coming back to me. I was furious because I had to take the AP test, and I had to learn everything myself, I think.
Oh, you didn't have a good teacher.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't have a lot of good things to say about teachers.
I
And
got a D in my history class, but I got a 4 on the exam. So
Fantastic. Great job. That's really
but it's
great.
my own fault, not the teachers.
In my case, I blame the teachers always. I've had very few really influential, incredible teachers who had a huge impact on me. The only one that I can think of that really jumps out at me is my freshman year of college.
Johnson?
I took what's that?
What's his name, Mr. Johnson?
No, who's Mr. Johnson? You just
I don't
guessed.
know.
I did.
Kim.
I got a D in AP writing in high school, and I went to college thinking I was a terrible writer. And then my teacher it was United States history to 1812, I think, in course.
College. Yeah.
It was a paper I had to write, a 20-page paper or something, and I was petrified and this and that. And I wrote the paper, and I did the best I could. And I did the exact same type of work that I did in AP in high school, and I got a B plus. And I wrote to I went to the chair and said, "How did I get a B plus?" And he said, "It's an excellent paper. You're a good writer." He was the first person in my life who told me that I was a good writer. And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "This is a really well-written paper, blah, blah, blah." And I started looking back at my old papers in high school, and they weren't that terrible. And it was amazing that you just need somebody to tell you that, like, Ileana, you're a great designer. Right? I mean, you just need someone to give you the confidence to think. And from there, I just went on, and look at that. I've written 10 books now, and I've written a 250-page dissertation. And it's amazing how one word from a teacher can destroy you.
And can make
one
you.
kind word from a teacher can give you the motivation and inspiration to continue.
Or from a beggar.
Say it again?
Yes.
Or from a beggar.
Yes.
When you give them 10 rupees.
Changes their life.
I thought you said ode from a beggar. And I was thinking, why would a beggar be singing a song on his lute?
Yeah, actually, in Egypt, they have these songs, and well, yeah, everyone has songs, but there's these songs and their names. They're like old, and then it'd be like ode of something. Like one that's really popular is Older Batal, which is it's supposed to be like the ode of the hero, but in Egypt they call women heroes. But yeah, that's what
Interesting.
it reminded me of.
I want to ask Ileana one question.
Yes.
You live alone,
Yeah.
you sleep alone, you do not get frightened at night.
No, I have a teddy bear actually.
I thought
What?
you had a roommate.
Yeah,
No?
me too.
Well, like I sleep alone, but we have different like
Rooms.
rooms, yeah. So I guess yeah, I don't live alone, but yeah. But I don't get scared at night. I have a teddy bear.
Oh.
Yeah. For me, I live alone here.
You
Oh
live
really?
alone.
Oh, because you
Oh,
always move, right?
Wait, Gay,
Here?
you live by yourself?
yeah, I'm alone in this room.
You
No, I
cannot
thought,
But
I
you're
thought
not
you
in
had
the
a roommate
room.
right.
with the bunk beds and everything.
No, she has bunk beds, but the bunk bed is only for her. Remember?
Yes.
Do you
Because
like
my
living alone?
family, sometimes yes, because I have time for myself to think
Mhm.
whatever I can do like that. Sometimes I look for my friends and come sleep over here, like a bonding like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I live alone here in the second floor.
Hmm.
In the other room, they're not here.
So this is good news. So there's always usually going to be a free bed available. So when we
In
come to
the
the,
Philippines.
we can stay at
Oh,
Game
yeah,
Mare's
sure.
house.
Actually,
She has to start her Air. Do you do Airbnb?
B&B.
Airbnb.
You can
Ah,
rent out extra beds in your. I don't know if it's available in the Philippines, but a lot of people who have an extra bed or an extra room in their house,
oh,
they'll put their bed, a picture of it on Airbnb, and then you can charge like $10 per night for somebody if they want to stay there. And I would be concerned for security. And you're a woman by yourself. Heck, I'd be concerned myself. I mean, just because I'm a guy doesn't mean I can't get murdered by some crazy person. But Airbnb does a pretty good job
quite
of
some
having
crazy
everybody go
ladies.
through a background check.
You can do
And,
couch
mm-hmm.
surfing too.
couch
I
surfing.
went to
Take
I
what?
went I went to Los Angeles, and my parents and another family together, we paid for a Airbnb house, and it was so expensive, and the house did not have air conditioning, and it was during winter time, and they didn't have enough blankets.
Wait. Do you mean it doesn't have a heater?
Yeah, their heater, like some of them are broken. They have like plugged in heaters that you have to plug in, and it's like really tiny, and we had like 10 people, I think. We only paid for the beds. We didn't even use the kitchen or anything, just for the beds, and it was really bad. Some lights can't turn on, and it was very expensive.
Yeah, that's the only problem with Airbnb. I once got an Airbnb to go down to a job interview down in Florida, and I booked it 3 weeks in advance. And literally, I land in Miami, and that as soon as I land and I turn on my phone, I get a message on Airbnb that the person that had rented me their room said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, some friends came into town,
What?
and so it's no longer available." and I got the money back, and I wrote to Airbnb saying, this is absolutely terrible. Why are they not penalized for, and I read about this a lot of other, that's why I don't like to use Airbnb ever again, unless they've changed the policy where there's no penalty for because I can't write a review unless I book. So if they canceled with me prior to me getting there, they don't get a bad review and they don't even get a penalty. I feel like they should have to pay me double and find me a place to stay. But anyway, Gay Mare, it's worth looking at, because if you can find, maybe you only rent to women and only women who have a certain rating, who have been on Airbnb for a certain number of times, but you can make some money.
That's true.
No, we are not allowed to do that here.
Oh, in the Philippines, it's not allowed?
No, I think
It's
it's
not
just where
allowed.
she lives.
No, some will do that well, but in my place, we are not
Yeah, where
allowed
she lives.
Oh, okay.
because the owner of this house is only here.
I understand.
Yes.
Well, it's an idea, maybe for the next apartment down the line.
Yeah.
All right, so let's finish up our powwow today. I hope we're all feeling a little bit more inspired and motivated and a little less gloomy than when we started. I certainly do. Let's share one thing that we learned today. Let's share one thing you learned today, and share one thing that you're going to do differently today as a result. So I will start. What I learned today is I need to stop looking at my life as having to be so perfect. Life is not perfect. And as someone mentioned, I think Ileana or Kelly or Riya mentioned it in the chat earlier, we all think that machines are perfect, but they're not. They are not in any way perfect. And if these machines can't be perfect, then how the heck can we be perfect when we're made of flesh and blood and are such imperfect creatures? And so I'm going to be a lot less hard on myself moving forward. And the one specific thing I'm going to do today is, if I can even work on my novel for 10 minutes, I should be proud of myself and not feel like I have to do 2 hours worth of writing. So as soon as we get off this call, I'm doing 10 minutes of writing. Ileana, next.
I learned that I don't have to do everything right the first time. When I do things, if it's not perfect the first time, it's okay, because I'm learning and I should be kind to myself. So what I will do is start to
Did she freeze?
Yeah.
I thought it was a long pause that she was trying to figure out.
You
So
paused right on time. And
Yeah.
I learned to.
What I learned is, oh, are you back? Ileana, you froze for about, so what did you say? What I learned was?
I learned that I need to be kinder to myself, and if it's not perfect the first time, it's okay. I can go back and fix it and change things. So I will do this, or today is just start, and it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, and even if it's better than I thought it would be, it's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect every time. So I'm just going to start.
Pick someone else, Ileana.
Riya.
Me?
Yeah.
The only Riya on the call.
So yes, I'm going to follow the.
Wait. What did you learn today? And then what are you going to do today?
I have learned that I'm not going to compare my past to my present. Yes. From Monroe, I think he has mentioned this. So yes, I'm not going to compare my past from the present, and I'm going to follow that practice makes Riya perfect. So I'm going to be practice more what I want to learn. I do not being harsh on me that on the for the first time I'm not going to be, like it should be perfect or something. Things takes time, so I'm going to practice and practice more.
So, and I'm just going to give you one correction so that you get more perfect with English. Practice makes perfect.
Yes, practice makes perfect.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Perfect.
Riya, pick one of the others who are left to share what they learned and what they're going to do differently today.
I do not understand. What do you say now?
Just say the words
Pick one
Kelly
person.
or Gay.
Acha, okay. Kelly.
Okay, Kelly, go
All
ahead.
right. What I learned today is
Is
I forgot.
I
Wait.
We'll come back to you. Gay, your turn.
Okay. What I learned today is to be myself. Well, yes, I can copy you guys in your English accent. So just be myself. When I speak, I will speak with confidence with myself. And what I am going to start after this is I'm going to install Adobe Reader. Yes,
want
Adobe
to
Reader yes, because we have this assignment that we have to answer this gerund versus infinitive game quiz, and it needs Adobe Reader so that we can start playing with it. So
Gay,
I dated.
can you send that to Riya? Because I've noticed in her speaking, she has troubles with when to use gerund or when to use infinitive too.
I will try.
Yeah, send it to her in the community. I know that she'd be grateful to get that as well.
Yeah, sure. Just
Okay,
because
go on.
on Sunday, because on Sunday I dated it on Sunday. I'm going to answer that gerund versus infinitive battleship game. Yes.
Fun?
And then submit it to my coach. All
That
done.
sounds great. That
I
sounds
want
Yes.
to share that when last I talked to Gay, I tried to copy her accent after the meeting. You know, she looks very cute speaking like Sunday and something like that. So I tried to copy her.
See, look at
Nice.
that, Gay. You have a good accent because
Yes,
Ria's trying to copy. However, I will say this, Riya.
yes. Not
Never mind. No, I won't even say that. I was gonna say, I mean, because Gay's accent is not perfect. Her pronunciation is not perfect. So don't try to copy it perfectly because
Yes.
I definitely suggest you try to find. I think it's very kind, and I know it's very nice of you to say that to Gay. But I'm gonna be honest. Don't copy her because you and hey, I'm not trying to insult you. I think you speak very cutely.
Yes, because I'm
But-
still practicing my pronunciation.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is yeah, just all I'm saying is be careful who you emulate. Because
Mhm.
and I do agree that Gay's accent is very cute, but she doesn't speak English perfectly as well
Yes.
as you probably want to, Riya. So make sure that you're listening to people. And you know what's funny? There are Brits and Australians and Americans who do not speak English well either. So it doesn't mean that you find a native speaker. That alone does not guarantee you're going to be, you could probably, there's someone in the Philippines or in India who speaks better English than I do. And they were not born here in the United States. So just remember, everybody, both of you, Gay and Riya, and even you, Kelly, to an extent, because I know English is technically your second language, make sure you're practicing grammar that's perfect, or else you're going to start saying things that you think are great and make you sound very, very silly. But you think that you're doing it correctly because the person is so confident in their terrible grammar.
yes.
Kelly, what did you learn and what are you going to do differently today?
I remember now. I
You
learned
sure, Riya?
today. Oh, yes. I learned that organizing and obtaining the knowledge is more important than making your plans, organizing your notes. And today, I will do the stuff immediately that I had planned. If it's something that I can do immediately. I will not put it on my checklist and just do it. Yeah.
Awesome. And I will do something different actually at the end here. Is there any, each of you, I want each of you here to give a message to everybody watching on YouTube. So who wants to start? Just a short message, maybe 10 seconds. Some advice.
On
Just be
anything?
yourself.
On anything, any advice whatsoever.
You go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, Riya.
No, I'm saying you just go.
We're just all waiting on
All right,
you.
so mine is, for those of you watching on YouTube, if you want to start a YouTube channel, just start it. It doesn't take any effort whatsoever. You just need your Gmail account and start the YouTube account and go to canva.com and create a banner, a nice banner that looks professional, and post a video and start asking people everywhere you go, will you please subscribe to my channel? And I've gotten up to 679 just by continually making videos and continually asking people to subscribe. You can do it, and I hope that you will. Riya, your turn.
Procrastinating and be yourself, and most important, don't forget to smile.
Smile. Kelly.
Why do I always forget? Okay, mine was
Do not forget.
Do not forget what you're
Don't forget what you're going to say.
Wait, Kel, we'll come back to you again. Gay, go ahead.
Start. What I can advise to these viewers. Start something without thinking about mañana habit. I will do it later. I will do it tomorrow. Just start now, as soon as possible, as long as you can do it. Like that.
Excellent. Kelly?
I was gonna add to Gays. No excuses. No excuses. Just do it and make it happen.
Awesome. And Ileana?
Progress comes with consistency. So if you want progress, be consistent, keep practicing, keep doing what you want to do to meet your goals.
I think that's key. That's key. Ileana and I were talking just the other day about how you don't see your progress maybe in a day or a week or a month. But if you look back this time last year, you can actually see the progress that you make. So it's really just like Ileana said, every single day. All right, who wants to leave us with the Break Divers Creed? Who knows it? I hope you all know it. Anybody?
We can all say it together.
Okay,
No.
let's say it together.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
No rules.
No rules. No excuses. No regret.
No regret.
No regrets.
That sounded terrible together. Let's have one person say it. Riya, can you say it for us?
Yes. No rules, no excuses, and no regret.
Awesome. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. We hope you will subscribe to our channel, click like, write a comment. We will respond to your comments, and share this with your friends. And most importantly, don't just be a passive observer on YouTube. Actually join our community. We are all members of Breakdiving, so you can, if you want, once you join Breakdiving, join these meetings, and we record them and post them up on YouTube. You can be a part of this. It's so much more fun. Breakdiving will be a lot cooler if you are there with us. We miss you. We have a placeholder just for you, and it's waiting. An account is waiting for you, and we want to meet you. So thank you so much, and don't hang up. We're going to take a group photo after we stop the recording. Bye, everybody. Say goodbye. Wave.
Bye.
Bye-bye.